Okay, let's talk about tequila. We're diving into a massive controversy that's shaking up the entire world of premium spirits. It involves some of the biggest, most popular brands you see on the shelf, and the accusations, well, they could change everything.
So here's the question at the heart of it all. You see that 100% agave label, and you pay a little extra for it, right? You're paying for purity, for quality. But what if that trust has been broken?
The company in the legal hot seat is Diageo, a global spirits giant. And we're talking about their powerhouse brands, Casamigos and Don Julio. They're facing a storm of class action lawsuits that claim their most popular tequilas, the ones marketed as the purest form, are basically a lie. This isn't just some small dispute. It really challenges the very definition of what's in your glass.
So, how did we get here? Let's trace how this thing unfolded, because the timeline is crucial to understanding just how quickly a single complaint snowballed into a legal firestorm.
It all kicked off in May of 2025 with one class action suit in Brooklyn. But it didn't stop there. Before the month was even over, 2 more popped up in California and Florida. And then things got really serious. A 4th lawsuit landed, and this one added racketeering charges. We're talking RICO allegations, the kind of charge you usually see in cases against organized crime. And there is serious money on the table. That first lawsuit alone is seeking $5 million in damages. The plaintiffs aren't just random people either. We're talking about a Brooklyn sushi restaurant, a New York bartender, folks who argue they paid a premium for a product that wasn't what the label promised.
Okay, so let's get to the juicy part. What's actually in these bottles, according to the people suing? This isn't just based on a hunch or a bad taste. They claim to have scientific proof, and here it is, the bombshell at the center of this whole thing. The lawsuits allege that carbon isotope testing, which is a scientific method to trace a compound's origin, proves these tequilas are cut with cheaper alcohol from things like cane or corn. Now, this isn't about some flavor additives. This is a direct accusation that the base spirit itself is not 100% from agave.
This really visualizes the enormous gap between the label and what's allegedly in the bottle. On one side, you have that promise of 100% purity. And on the other, the claim that in some bottles, less than half the alcohol actually comes from agave. The difference is just staggering to look at.
And get this, the California lawsuit gets super specific, putting actual numbers to these claims. It alleges that Casamigos Blanco and even the super premium Don Julio 1942 Añejo might contain only around 33% agave-derived alcohol. Others are said to be hovering around 42%.
Now, to really understand why this is such a big deal, you gotta know the rules. Legally, a 100% de-agave tequila has to be made, and this is the key word, exclusively from the fermented sugars of the Blue Weber agave plant. No other sugars, period. That's the highest standard, and it's what justifies that premium price tag.
Then you have the other legal category, which is mixto tequila. And even that has to be at least 51% agave sugars. So think about this for a second. If these allegations are true, these big-name, premium brands wouldn't even legally qualify as the most basic grade of tequila.
So you're probably wondering, how could this even be happening? Well, the lawsuits suggest it's through a totally illegal practice called cold mixing. This is where a distiller would allegedly take finished tequila and then just dilute it with cheaper industrial alcohol after it's already been made. If that's true, the final product isn't just mislabeled, it's not legally tequila at all.
Okay, so we've heard one side of the story. Let's move over to the other side of the courtroom and see how Diageo is responding to these incredibly serious allegations. As you can imagine, they are not taking this lying down.
Diageo's denial has been swift and firm. They called the claims baseless, outrageous, and categorically false. They're making it crystal clear they are ready for a huge legal fight.
So Diageo's defense basically rests on its paperwork. They're saying, look, our tequilas are made from 100% blue vapor agave, and we are fully compliant with every single standard required. That means Mexico's official NOM, the Tequila Regulatory Council, or CRT, and all the U.S. regulations. As far as they're concerned, they've checked every box and followed every rule.
But this is where the plot really thickens. You just heard Diageo say they're certified by the CRT, Mexico's official tequila regulator.
But the lawsuits don't just go after Diageo. No, they put the regulator itself right in the crosshairs.
And this slide just captures the heart of the whole regulatory debate. Diageo's defense is simple. Hey, the official watchdog certified us. But the lawsuit fires back with a really powerful claim. The watchdog is run by the very companies it's supposed to be watching. It's the classic fox guarding the henhouse argument.
The plaintiffs really paint a picture of a regulator that's been compromised. They point out that executives from Diageo hold top leadership spots on the CRT's board, and they claim the agency turns a blind eye and fails to enforce standards against big tequila. The RICO suit goes even further, accusing the CRT of being part of a whole adulterated tequila enterprise designed for illegal profit.
So after all this legal drama, what does it all mean for the industry? And maybe more importantly, for you, the person standing in the aisle trying to choose a good bottle of tequila. This is about way more than just one company.
The lawsuit frames this as something that hurts everybody. If these claims are true, it's not just the consumers who are getting cheated. It's also the smaller, traditional producers, the ones who actually follow all the rules, but just can't compete with giants who are allegedly cutting corners.
Ultimately, this whole case puts the entire system on trial. What's at stake is consumer trust. Can we actually believe what the label tells us? The answer to that question is going to determine the integrity of a category that's built on this idea of purity. And it could seriously reshape how tequila is made and regulated all over the world.
And all of this leaves us with one critical question. When a label promises you purity, who do you trust to verify it? The company making the product? The industry regulator? Or does it really take a multi-million-dollar lawsuit to maybe find out what's really in your glass? As this all heads to court, that right there is the billion-dollar question.